from 12 hours to 1.5. On this day in history, December 1st, 1913, Henry Ford installed the first moving assembly line for the mass production of an automobile. From 1908, when the Model T was introduced, Ford sought a way to build the car more efficiently. The car was simple, sturdy, and relatively low cost, but not as low cost as Henry Ford would have liked. Over the years, he tried to increase the productivity of his factories. For instance, the Model N was built by arranging the parts in a row on the floor, and the under construction was on skids and dragged down the line as it was built. But he knew that the streamlining process could be done more efficiently. He broke down the Model T's construction into 84 distinct steps and trained each worker to be the most efficient at just one of them at a time. Concurrently, he developed machines that could assemble, stamp out, or manufacture parts automatically and faster than a human could. This culminated in the idea for the assembly line. Inspired by the continuous flow production of other industries like mills, canneries, and bakeries, Ford began installing moving lines for parts of the Model T's manufacturing process. On December 1st, he unveiled his final piece, the moving chassis assembly line. However, it was Ford who had the most enthusiasm while his workers hated it. Assembly line work was, and still is, very monotonous, involving doing the same task at the same position for hours on end. Skilled craftsmen considered it an insult to the trade, and many outsiders believed it was another example of a company's overwhelming control over its workers. But the idea stuck, and Henry Ford, on his path to produce millions of cars as efficiently as possible, ushered in the era of the automobile for everyone and established a car empire that still sells more than 4 million cars a year over 100 years later. If you've learned something, consider dropping a like and subscribing to my channel. Your support would mean the world to me.